Chronic wasting disease is a huge threat to the future of our deer herds, but there's something every hunter can do. We know that we can engage in this fight, and here are 5 simple things everybody can do this fall to do their part to do everything possible to limit the spreading of this terrible disease. The vast majority of wildlife professionals view chronic wasting disease as one of the largest threats to the future of our deer herds. Fortunately, there's something every hunter can do to engage in this fight to minimize the spread. One, we can oppose movement of live animals. Because there is not a reliable and a practical live animal test, because the incubation period in deer is 18 to 24 months, what that means is many deer that have the disease don't show any symptoms. So, a lot of captive deer who are CWD positive but folks don't realize it. They are unknowingly moved to other locations. They take the disease with them. So the easiest things that hunters can do to engage is oppose movement of live animals. We shouldn't be moving live animals around anywhere until we have a reliable and a practical live animal test. Number two, this is where hunters can really help. We cannot move the high risk parts of deer that we harvest. Because the prions or the infectious materials accumulate in the brain, the eyes, the spleen, the backbone, if we don't take those away from the kill site, we can help not moving this disease somewhere else. We can debone the venison, put that in a cooler and get it home, or take it to a processor who participates in a CWD cooperator program where those entrails and those high-risk parts immediately go to the landfill. That's a great way to keep CWD off the landscape. Number three, make sure you participate in testing for this. If you hunt in a disease zone or your state wildlife agency asks you to submit samples for a test, be sure to do that. This is the best way to know how prevalent the disease is in the area. And depending on if it's a low prevalence rate or it's a higher prevalence rate, your state wildlife agency can attack that differently. They don't know how to attack it unless they know the rate that the disease is there, and sampling is the only way to provide them with that. Plus, you should never eat a deer that is CWD positive, and the only way to know for sure is to have it tested. So, as hunters, every time that we harvest a deer in a CWD zone, provide that sample to the state wildlife agency. That helps us, that helps them, and it helps us ensure the future of our deer herd. Number four, let's make sure we're reporting sick deer to our state wildlife agencies. Many cases, it turns out to not be CWD. It might be hemorrhagic disease or something else. But if we see a sick deer, let them know they can come and hopefully get a sample from that and do a better job in early detection as the disease is moving into new areas. So if you see a sick deer, say something about it to your local biologist. And number five, this is certainly not the least important. This is arguably the most important. Let's harvest an appropriate number of antlerless deer. Many states are asking their hunters, or almost begging their hunters to shoot additional antlerless deer. This is one of the single most important things we can do to have good deer management programs. Harvest an appropriate numbers of antlerless deer to keep deer herds in balance with the habitat, make sure everybody has plenty of food, and then that's also good for other wildlife species. So this year, as a hunter, make sure you're harvesting enough antlerless deer, more venison for your freezer. You can share that with other maybe needy families if you have extra. And this is one of the single best things that we can do to restrict deer numbers on our habitat to make sure that we're not spreading the disease even faster in extremely high density herds. Chronic wasting disease is a huge threat to the future of our deer herds, but there's something every hunter can do.